Up there, it's just all kinds of different things. A lot of things for building things. That's an angle pro box up there. It's for setting the angle on the tail of the plane to the wing of the plane when you build them. It's a balancing tool thing. That over there is a prop balancer. You gotta balance the props on the airplanes. I got a little paint sprayer here. Can't think of what to call them. With my little air compressor it's a nice one. I've been doing this for a long time, so I have a lot of different stuff. And there's a lot of things that are not even in here. I haven't gotten everything put away, you know, because I'm just kind of moving and going through all this. So a lot of my stuff is not in here. Underneath here is just all my boxes of pieces and parts. These are like just bags of BBs for a BB gun. But when you build airplanes, you need weight and you need it to flow to wherever the part you're putting it on, and you need it to put on it. And so you set this on like wings when you sheet them and everything, and holds the sheeting down. There's that, and then there's this stuff here. This is like a powder, same thing, kind of thing. This here is lead. It's just a box of lead weights that you can glue and stick on airplanes to balance them, because they got to be balanced. Otherwise they don't fly right. And then it's like tubing and metal and wood, and it's just boxes and boxes of stuff that I've gotten over the years. This workbench has been a design that I have done for years. I've kind of always improved on it. Every place that I've lived for the last 25, 30 years, this has been a thing that I've always improved on. And it's a very sturdy table. And this one here is perfectly level. And the way that I know it is because I built the table, and then I don't know if you can see this or not, there's like a gray line right there. And you can see how it's thicker down here in the end, and it gets narrower and narrower as it goes along. That's actually concrete. What that is you need a nice flat surface to build an airplane on, because you don't want the wings to have, you know, be kinked or nothing like that, because then the plane will fly funny. So you want to have a nice flat work spot. So I built this table like I have built them in the years past. But they always end up with like a dip or something, you know, you can't make you put 2x6s on here and stuff, and you build a table, but it's not perfectly straight. So what I've done is I put the plywood on this one, and then I built like a lip all the way around it, and had it stick up about an inch or so. And then I got that stuff that you pour on floors, and it's concrete, and you mix it all up, and it's running just like almost like water. It's really thin stuff. And I just poured it all over the whole table and got it so it was coating the whole table. And then I just let it sit, and it flows and fills up spots, the low spots and everything. And I had it so the whole thing was covered, and I let it all cure up for a couple days, and I came back and I put a level on there, and perfect. It's really nice. It's a really nice table. And then what's on top of this is actually ceiling tiles. And they're flipped upside down. And the reason why you do that is because when you build an airplane, they give you plans. It's kind of like a blueprint. And you will lay the blueprint down on, you know, the plans down on here, and then you put wax paper over the top of it to protect it. And then you put the wood right over the top of it. And what you do is you put little T-pins. And this is called a T-pin. And it's got the little handle on there. And it's just like a little stick pin. And what you do is you put it through the wood, and you put it down through the plans, and then you put it into something, and you want to tack it into something. So it's got that ceiling tile that it goes into, and you can put it in there, and then you pull it out, and it closes it up and doesn't damage it. I learned this a long time ago, is you just take ceiling tiles and you flip them upside down, and it's a nice flat work surface. And I put duct tape over the top of the seams, and there's screws that are indented in here. And I put duct tape over the top of it, but it doesn't seem to affect it. It doesn't make it like a ridge or none. I put a level on there and it's really nothing. You can't tell. But you can stick the stick pins in there like that, and when you're done, you pull them out, there's no damage. The table stays perfect for a long time. So, and then eventually this does get, glue gets on it, and it gets cut and many times and stuff. Well, then you just pull these ceiling tiles up and go to and buy 4 more, and away you go. Down here is more boxes. Just like wood parts. These are usually leftover stuff from airplane kits. This is the covering that you use to cover the airplanes. It's like a really, really thin plastic. And it has it's on the back of it, it's actually adhesive, but it's not sticky. And the way that it becomes sticky is by heat. And so you cover whatever with it, and you put it on top of whatever you want to cover. And then you have an iron. It's almost kind of like an iron that you iron clothes, except it's a lot smaller. And you press that on there. When the heat hits it, it activates the glue and makes it stick to the wood. And then you stretch it out, and you get it all as tight as you can. You tack it all the way around, and then you take a heat gun and you run the heat gun over the top of it, and it just like shrinks it up and makes it real nice and tight. And it's really super lightweight. Many years ago, we used to use dope. Sounds funny. It's kind of like a lacquer type finish, and you'd use this tissue stuff. I may even have some left. Right here. And you put dope on it. That's finish. That's racing finish for car. That's all lacquer stuff. I got one juggler left. It's like a dope, and you put like a tissue paper over the top of it, and then you spray the stuff over the top of it, and it's almost like a fiberglass type deal. It's a real thin layer, and it soaks into the tissue, and it makes it hard and stuff. And then you would paint the airplanes. It was a big work, a lot of work to do it, and they came out with this stuff here, and it's so much easier, and you can buy it any color you want to. And then there's all kinds of different things. Like this is all like hubs and props, you know, guards and stuff in here. There's a few mufflers in here and stuff. This is all like servos, electrical connectors, and wiring and stuff. This is all like glow plug wrenches and igniters. This down here is like wheels. It's just all different size wheels that you can have. You know, some are rubber, some are foam. You know, they work on different fields, you know, if you have a grass field or if you have an asphalt field. Here's an old pair of skis from an airplane. I saw the nose one is sitting, I have it over there on the wall. Right here's the main one. And I saw the other ones right here. So you can put skis on them so you can fly out in the snow and stuff. I got into a kick of that one time, and I'm trying to get everybody else to fly in the winter time, and hey, let's go flying and stuff. And we all bought skis and we started doing it and stuff. Everybody was freezing their butt off, and you're trying to you know, fly with your controller with your hands all. You can't really have gloves on and stuff, so you're out there and it's cold. And we did it for a year or two, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, I'm not doing this. So, haven't done it for a while. What else is going on in here? Can't really think of anything. Well, here's this. I'll show you guys this. This is something I've always planned on. This is something that I've always wanted to build. This is the plans. These are plans for an airplane. I like to build them from scratch. I like kits. I like building kits too, and I'm thinking about doing a kit for you guys and building a kit because I have one. And I'm thinking about doing that, kind of doing a whole video series of it and stuff to kind of show you guys this stuff. I enjoy doing it, so, and I have everything. But this one here is a scratch build. You have to buy all the wood and piece it all together and everything else. This is a big one. I used to fly like big airplanes, like 40, 50 pound airplanes. Like 7, 8 foot wingspans, stuff like that. I used to fly a lot of that. JBG Travels, that's what he flew too many years ago, was big ones. It was very expensive. Those can get very pricey. And when you crash one in, it hurts a little. But I used to do that. But this here is a plan that I've always planned on building. Someday I'm going to do it. And this is the Black Widow P61. It's a 1/7 scale. The wingspan is 113 inches. The length of the plane is 84 inches. They're saying the weight should be around 38 to 45 pounds. And they're saying that for power, you should have two 35 to 55 cc gas engines in this. This is a Nick Zeroli plan. And there's been some people that have built this, and these are beautiful planes. This is a side view of the plane. And you can see this. You can see how big it is and everything. It's a good size plane. And it has all pneumatic retracts that are operated by air that will come up and down. Nose too. You can see here they got it pictured with a Zenoa G38. So that engine up there, that's a G26. So this one here, they're saying that it takes two 38s. You can see here is the front retract that they have pictured here, and it even has doors, so as it retracts up, the doors close behind it. And this is one side of it. So this, and then there's another side, the exact same. So there's two engines on this. It's a little bit tricky to get these engines to time together. It's a little bit tricky. But this is a beautiful airplane. I have actually seen this airplane fly, and I thought it was just awesome. And so I wanted to do this. I bet you I've had these plans for probably 10 years. And it was going to be my plan to build this. But I just haven't gotten on to it. This here is the plane that I'm thinking about building for you guys. I kind of want an airplane that I can put together. And the wings on it and everything, and keep it all together. I don't have to take it apart to go to the flying field. So I bought this, I don't know, I think about, I want to say about 3-4 years ago. I bought this in plans of building it. I just haven't gotten to it. It's a 60 size. It's an extra 300S. And this is made by Great Plains. These things here are great kits. Especially somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience, they're awesome kits to build. They go together very well. And it gives you everything that you need. Here's the plans, all rolled up. And these are full-size plans. So the plans are, I don't feel like taking them all apart, but those are full-size plans. And then, see, here's all the wood. These are all the pieces of wood that it'll take to build this. It's all pre-packaged, it's all done. And then a lot of it is actually laser cut. I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's actually laser cut out on there. And then they have numbers all on the pieces. And when you break them out of these little pieces, these little pieces of wood here, and you break all the little pieces out, it has numbers on it that go right with the plans. So it's pretty easy to build. I can put these things together pretty fast. And it's just a whole box full of wood. That's all it is. Here's the landing gear for it. This is the canopy. It's a clear canopy. I don't really want to take all this apart because I don't want to piece it all back together. I'm thinking I'm going to do like a video series on this build. Because I can put one of these together pretty fast. These are the landing gear. They're made out of fiberglass. I think that's fiberglass. That or plastic. Not sure. This is the underbelly pan. There's just more boxes of wood down in there. But I'm thinking about building it. You can see it all here. These are all the plans and everything else. It's just the whole book, step by step, and how to do it. It's pretty easy. It's a great nowadays, not too many people do this. Not too many people build their own planes anymore. I tell you the truth, I actually like building the planes as much as I like flying them. So I'm going to be building, I like to build. Most of the time now you can buy these things, and China is the problem. They actually have little factories over there and stuff, and they actually build these airplanes up, and they sell them for pretty much almost cheaper than what you could build this yourself, this kit and everything that goes into it. It's pretty much about a little cheaper actually. And you can buy the thing, it's all done up. All you gotta do is bolt a motor into it and put your radio gear. They call it an ARF. It's almost ready to fly. And it's kind of become a big thing, and a lot of people do it. I'm not a big fan of it. A lot of times they use really subpar like glue, and a lot of the times things come apart and everything else, and an airplane coming apart is not good. So I kind of, and like I said, I enjoy the building of it. The only problem with this is I want something smaller, because I don't want to do the giant scale stuff anymore because of the expense and everything of it. And plus, getting them to the field, you got to assemble the wings and all that stuff. This one's a pretty small one. What's the size of the wingspan here? Oh, right here it is. Wingspan. I just saw it. It's 64 inches. So the wingspan is 64 inches. The fuselage length is 54.25 inches. The weight should be around 7 to 7.5 pounds. And that's, the wing area is 744 square inches. But you put a nitro engine, an OS 61 FX engine would be a perfect match for this. These are aerobatic planes. You take them up, you do tricks with them. That's what this is for. And that would be great. But the problem is that nitro fuel has gone uncontrollably out of control. The price of it is just crazy. You buy it by a gallon. You can order bulk and stuff like that. But this is a gallon jug of it right here. And this is 15% nitro. It has castor oil and all kinds of different things in it. It has a little crank on it where I can pump it into my airplane. One of these jugs runs you around $22 to $25. Some of them are even more expensive, higher nitro content. I run with gas. This is regular gasoline. A little crank on there. I can pump it into my airplanes. That is just 2-stroke oil, just like a chainsaw. That's what that is. So running a little gas engine, like a chainsaw engine, a lot cheaper. I mean, you're talking what, maybe $2.50 to $3 a gallon. You dump a little bit of pre-mix oil in with it, and so what's it costing? Maybe $3.50 tops a gallon, to where it costs $25. So what I did is I actually bought this engine. Like I said, I have all this stuff already. I bought this thing, and I bought the engine to go with it. And this is a little gasoline motor. And I got this from a company online, and it's some little China company. I don't know how it's going to work. Got a little tiny spark plug in there. And this is a 20cc gas motor. And it equates to about the same power as that. I don't think it's going to have the climbing. It's all, you can change it out with props and everything else, but it's not going to have the zing of the nitro engine, where you pull the throttle and just it takes off like crazy. But I've flown gas for many years, so. And this one here has an electronic ignition that comes with it. So it's just a little electronic ignition deal. It just plugs onto your spark plug, and then you plug in a battery pack to it, and then you can hook this up to your receiver, and then you flip a switch, and it'll kill the power, so it shuts the engine off. So, pretty cool. I think I picked this motor up. I think it was like $100. I've heard good. I've heard bad. I haven't fired it up yet or nothing. I bought it. It's been sitting in a box. I dumped some oil in the engine of it, and it's been sitting here. So. So there you guys go. There's my RC stuff. This over here, like I said, I just been moving. So when I used to live here years ago, and I built a shop and everything, I have a big thing about having parts. I like to have, when I'm working on an airplane, I like to have nuts and bolts. Like to have the T-nuts. I like to I like to have everything so that if I'm building something, I don't have to go run to a hobby store and grab it. So I've always had this wall, this pegboard, and you can see all these different writings on it. These were actually little hooks that were all in these little spots, and the packages for each one are always here. I always keep a stock. I'm almost like a hobby store here. People that come over here and stuff, and people I know at the RC airplanes and stuff, they come over here and they're like, man, if the hobby store is ever out, I'm just going to come over here. And I'm like, yeah, if you need something, just let me know. But my place over at my last house, that was a smaller workshop that I had, and I didn't have the room to put up this whole pegboard on the wall and stuff, because I mean we used it for our lawnmower and everything else, so I was tight in room in that place. So what I did is I went out and bought these little containers, and I broke all the packaging apart, and you can see that what I do is I'm kind of a big thing about this. I like to have all this stuff. See, it's all little washers and stuff, and it's all labeled what size washers they are and everything. And then what I do is I put numbers down inside here, and that's the part number if I need to order more of them. And you can see it's, and then there's lock washers, so you can see how tiny these little things are that we use. All right, let's drop that one. I can't keep it on my finger. There we go. And you can see how tiny that little lock washer is. Each one of these bins has got it, and in the bottom of them there's little numbers, and those are actually Dubrow numbers, and this is a catalog. This is a Great Plains ones. I have a book too for Dubrow, but those are Dubrow numbers, and if I get low on one of these, I write it down on my little pad over there. So when I do go to the hobby store, I grab a package of this, package of that, and then I can restock, what I run out of and stuff. But I mean, it's all got everything. The nuts and the bolts, and there's socket heads, and then there's button head, and I mean, steering arms, hinge pins. I mean, you need hinges. Oh, we got hinges. Here's control horns. I mean, it's just all this stuff. I like to keep everything. So when I'm working on something, I don't have to stop and wait for the hobby store to open up in the morning or something to go run there, and then I lose a weekend of work. So and you can see all my props and stuff. These are all just different props, different pitch, different size. Some of them are electric, some of them are, for nitro gas. This one here is pretty expensive. This is a carbon fiber, and this is an 18 by 10. This one's a little pricey. But that one's a carbon fiber. Some of them are fiberglass, some of them are wood. They make them all out of different materials. These things here, these are called APC props. And they're made out of some kind of fiberglass, not carbon, but some kind of fiberglass. And these things are razor sharp. These things are intense. And if you're getting new into airplanes or something like that, do not use these. I'm telling you right now, be very careful of these things. I have seen people cut their fingers off with these things. Because when the engine is running, this is spinning so fast you don't even see it. And people just unconsciously go, oh, I need to tune the engine, and they reach in. I've seen people do it, and I've seen them with these things here. These things will not break. If you stick your finger in, this prop's not going to break, but your finger's going to break, and it may cut your finger off. So be very leery of these. Anyone that is new to RC airplanes, I always suggest they go with these. These are wooden ones, and they're they don't last the greatest and stuff. The lacquer kind of comes out of them and everything else in the weather. But the thing is if you hit your finger with one of these, it's going to hurt. But it's not going to probably cut your finger off. It may break a finger, I don't know. But this is going to break. This wood is going to break. So use wood if you're new on RC airplanes. What else? I don't know. Little bits and pieces and everything. And I'm missing a lot of stuff too. I got boxes someplace. I don't know where they are. It's just, it's a moving thing. So I got boxes and boxes of stuff that I need to find and put away and everything else. But I think this will be pretty neat. You guys can get to see that. I can tell you that I know you guys are going to be wondering about cost and stuff. That trainer plane that's out there, that whole thing to get going would probably run about $300. That'd be an airplane, motor, radio, everything, $300, $350 or so. That's everything that you need to go. You can buy it in a kit that's everything that comes with it. So I think they're around that price. I haven't bought one in so long. I bought that plane kit when I was trying to get my stepson going, and I think it was like $100 or something, or $90 or something it cost for that airplane kit, and I built it. And I had all the servos and motor and all that stuff. I had all that stuff laying around. So, but you can get some real pricey stuff. When we used to fly like the third scale, the quarter scale stuff, especially like, with John and stuff, I mean, some of those planes, I mean, you're talking $2,500 to $5,000, and they can get up there. And if something happens and you put one of those in, it's kind of like, a little tear just comes out. They actually make jets too. Like those little jet airplanes I have out there, those are for nitro engines, and I'm trying to convert that one into an electric. But they actually have real jet engines. They run off jet fuel and everything. They spool up just like a jet and all this stuff. There's a guy at our flying field. He donated a whole bunch of money to the flying club, and he actually made paved runways out there, and he built himself a 2-car garage out there just to keep his airplanes in, and he flies jets. And the whole reason why he wanted the asphalt so he could fly jets. And he, not that you have to have asphalt, but he wanted it. But he's got some airplanes that are like $30,000. I mean, they're crazy. And this guy's a millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire, so it's nothing. It's not a big deal to him. He's been trying to get me to convert over to jets, and I almost did it. He's been like, "Here, I'll sell you this one, all ready to go, motor, airplane, everything." He goes, "I'll give you everything, $5,000." And back when he was trying to get me to go in there so hot and heavy, I had airplanes that were like $5,000, big scale stuff. So it was not a crazy thing at the time, to think about that. But it's like, if I knew if I would have got into it, then I'd want to get a bigger one and all this stuff. And I just didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to get into it. But I could fly pretty good. I'm pretty talented at flying. And with those jets, you need to know how to fly. And I have those little jet airplanes, and I'd come out there and fly, and I'd come down those asphalt runways he has, and I'd bring them in, and I'd come in with the nose up just like a regular jet does, and come down and touch the landing gear and keep the nose way up while it's running out to speed, and then at the last second drop the nose down and then spin it around and bring it back. And I was pretty good at it, and he was always like, "Man, you could fly jet no problem." I'm like, "I know I could fly jet, real problem. It's my wallet that has a problem." So is what it is. But you can spend a lot of money on these things, but you can also get into them, not that expensive. And when I started flying, basically you built one of these kits, just like what's laying back here behind me. You would build one of these kits, and it would take you, you know, sometimes new person, and it'd take you 2-3 months or whatever, put it all together, and you put everything, get it all working. And then there was, you know, when I first started, there was no club, and I just went out in the field and hit the throttle, and into the ground it went. I'm like, oh. So I'd buy another kit, build another one, put all the stuff in. It took me 5 airplanes to actually get a successful flight and land. It was crazy. And then the club came along, and then we had trainers, and you can actually hook a cord between one remote to another, and a guy can sit over there and he can have a button on his controller, and if you get into trouble, he flips that button and he takes control and saves your airplane for you. It's pretty cool. So every club has them. There's clubs all across the country. Every club has trainers and everything where they can help you. And then now there's also computer programs where you actually get a remote control, just like what we use when we fly, and it hooks up to your computer, and then your monitor turns into the plane. You can see the plane, and it's really nice. It works really good. I've actually done helicopters. I've learned how to fly helicopters by doing that, by having a flight simulator. And I've had a few of those in my day. I've had, I think it was 3 or 4 of those. Did a lot of crashing. Had a big fancy one, and I crashed it and went, yeah, that's enough. It was just too much. Used to do the boats too. Used to race boats and stuff. Run all over Wisconsin racing boats, and down in Illinois. I haven't done that for years. Kind of died out around here. Yeah, I know you guys thinking this is a lot of stuff and everything. You know, the cars, you know, there's 4 cars. I know I got another one somewhere. So I got 5 cars. I got about 5 or 6 airplanes, something like that. It's not that much. In my heyday, I think I had I think it was like 22 airplanes. I had about, I want to say like 8 to 10 cars. I had like 4 boats. I had a lot of stuff. And at one time I had, I think, 2 helicopters at the same time. So I had a lot of stuff. I actually had an enclosed trailer for the airplanes. It was an enclosed trailer where I could carry all the airplanes out to the flying field. I just pull up my truck and open up the back doors and pull the parts out and put them together. And then I also had another enclosed trailer just for the RC cars and my boats. So I was a little crazy. That saying, he who dies with the most toys, that was this guy. But we've downsized quite a bit over the years, so there you guys go. There's a tour of my RC workshop. And yeah, I think I'm going to do a video about building this airplane. You know, a couple hours a weekend or so. Come out here and hang out here and put this together. Maybe until, you know, it gets warmer out. I start working on my truck and everything. So there we go. Well, hey, there you guys go. There's a complete tour of my RC workshop. You guys are going, whoa! I know. A lot of different toys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do enjoy doing a lot of this different stuff, and it's a lot of different fun. There's a lot of ways to get into it. There's simple ways. I was the guy who owned a hobby store. So some of you guys with the RC cars or airplanes or something like that, I was the guy who you bought the plane from or the car from, and then gave you tips on how to make it go faster or how to make it run better or fly better, you know. I was that guy, so that's why I got so much stuff. So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have yourself a great day, great evening, whatever it is for you when you're out there watching this. And hey, if you're not, we can certainly try that over again tomorrow, right? Down, and the door just slammed out there. It's a little windy here. Down at the bottom, let's hit that subscribe button. And to the right of there, there's a bell. Hit that bell and it's going to give you a notification of every video that I have coming out. And then down below that, let's do a comment. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or anything, inquiries, hey, leave it down there. I will try to get back to you. And also, let's not forget, thumbs up. See you guys. Have a great day.